Okay, so thank you, all of you, for joining the session. So let's get started. So I think there you can see a presentation, right? Can you mention that you can see or not?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's get started now.
Not
So
yet, not yet.
not yet. Okay.
Yes, now I can see.
Oh, okay, great. So let's start with the session. So before starting the session, let me mention who am I? So I'm MD Shahriyar Mitul, currently pursuing my bachelor's and in second year. Okay, so along with that, I'm a GitHub campus expert and beta Microsoft Linux ambassador and AWS community builder. So and some I'm organizing some community and something like that. You can if you search in LinkedIn, you might find the LWM community, and also I'm organizing the CNCF short program, TensorFlow user group, and Azure Tech group. So kind of diverse, you can call the diverse community work. For the CNCF, it's like for open source. If you talk about TensorFlow, it's for by organized and maintained by Google, and Azure is by Microsoft. So it's kind of a awesome opportunity and yeah, experience. Okay, so we have done just I've mentioned about myself. Now let's get started with the Git. Okay, so Git is basically a actually control system, or you can call it kind of tracking system. So what is this basically, this tracking system or something like that? Okay, so if we talk about the tracking, what would happen basically, like if you have assuming that you have 6 members in a team. Okay, you're going for a hackathon or something like that. So first of all, you made a website and you published it. Okay. So now what happened? What can happen is basically that you published it and something, and after a while there is a teacher. So teacher came and he mentioned this could have been you went before submitting the website or something like that. You went to one of the members went to the teacher, and he's actually showed the project, you team member. So that time the teacher liked it because there were some features that were good, and the teacher liked it. But after a while you guys didn't actually try to keep it, and you came up with a different idea and you published it. So that time what would happen, like you have lost the code or something, those kind of things. So Git is basically kind of tracking all of this. When you enable Git in your local system or in remote, what happens basically, like Git is tracking like every single changes, and if you kind of commit it, it's kind of uh, snapping a picture. We can assume it like if you go to kind of USA and you go for 2 to 3 days. Now you will go there and you will kind of snap some pictures, images, or something like that, right? So what after a few years, like 5 to 6 years, if you see those images or something, you can yeah, you can kind of become nostalgic or something. Yeah, we went there 5 years back and so many days passed by. So Git is doing something like that. Like you in a big project, when you were doing some changes, you can commit, and this commit is basically snapping a picture or image of your code. Okay, so just um, you can have an idea like this. Now, when we are now going to work in a real life project or something like it, just basic one, like HTML, basic HTML code, and I'm going to initialize the Git, and also making you know about the local system and remote on and so on. Just we have to be patient, and I'm going to use few tools like GitKraken here, also GitHub, also Git. Okay, so first of all, if you haven't installed Git in your local system, you can install it by going to the wait, let me going to the Google search bar, and just you can search it, typing the like Git. Okay, let me share my screens also. Okay, I think you can see my screen, right? Feel free to mention if you can see my screen.
Oh, yes.
Great. Okay, so this is what you have to install basically, Git. Okay, so after install, assuming you have installed it, because there are lots of videos which you can actually go to YouTube and search it how to install Git and something. So I'm not going to show you how to install Git. So we are going to start from a basic HTML code. Okay, great. So now, first of all, let me create a folder here, kind of new folder, which we will use a lot here. Okay. Okay, so I have saved a basic HTML code. Okay, so I think we all know some basics of HTML code, like HTML is used for creating websites. So yeah, so in the new folder, I'm just first of all, I'm going to use Visual Studio Code 2. Okay, so going to Visual Studio Code, there were some codes here, like okay, open folder. I'm going to okay, new folder, done. Well, so it's in the new folder, and now I can demo.html. Okay, done. So we are going to paste the code and Control S save. Done. So we have, let me go and check it out. If yeah, you can see under the new folder, we have now demo.html. Okay, so we are not going to work with a lot of code or something, just basic code changes, these two paragraph and something, two or three paragraph, something para. So now we are going to see what is the kind of change. Okay, so if you use Visual Studio Code, so you can also use there are a lot of extensions. So one of those are Go Live. So if I press it, I can see the website. How? You can see my first heading and my first paragraph, right? So if we go to here, those who don't know about the HTML, you can see H1, so heading, and one, that means the most priority, and this will be, have the most length. Okay, so and the paragraph. Okay, so you can see here my first heading and my first paragraph. So this is what we actually created using this code. Okay, now we you can have a big project, but I'm just using this demo HTML code and going to change a few things and something. Okay, so now what we mentioned, like your friend or your team actually went, one of the team member actually went to your teacher, and then they, what they did basically, he showed the teacher the project, right? In the meantime, kind of before submitting the project. So that time the teacher liked it, but when you submitted, when your team submitted, he didn't like it. And he mentioned that, go, I did like the previous version of your project, which you showed it to me. So if you would have used Git, that you could easily go to the previous version and you could easily actually then show it to your teacher. But right now you might actually forget the code or something. That doesn't happen. But basically, when you're working with a big project, so that time it's really important to work with Git, branch, and so on, because it will actually save a lot of your time. Okay, so how will you know? Because right now, when I'm talking so much, like talking about Git and so many things, it might seem like, okay, what is he talking about? But I can guarantee after 1 hour, you can actually see what we are using, how we are implementing Git in the biggest project, one of the biggest project, because CNCF has, his CNCF is a kind of, you all know, I think, they have lots of projects, open source projects, and a billion-dollar company. So they have projects and how they work. One of the projects is CNCF Glossary. So we will show how they work with it. Okay. And I will tell you how you can contribute on those projects, because I am a maintainer of the project. Okay. So now we have this demo.html, right? Now, okay, no issues. Now what I'm going to do, if we go and let me wait a bit, let me stop the sharing for a second, because wait, I think I can enable the presentation here. That would be great, rather than there. Okay, no issues. Okay, kindly mute yourself, Zabir. Okay, done. Okay. I think the screen, you can share, see my screen here, right? Again.
Yes, you can see the screen.
Uh, okay, great. Okay. So now we are going to use the Git. Okay. So first of all, we have a GitHub cheat sheet. Okay. So where is it? Like here, you can just search in Google like GitHub cheat sheet. Okay. No issues. Just it is free, open for all. And also you can get GitLab cheat sheet or something like that. So there is no problem. Just we are going to use GitHub in this session. So just get the GitHub cheat sheet. But there is no difference actually. Kind of most of the things are using it. So let me share one thing. Many people confuse between Git and GitHub. Okay, so they're not the same. Git is kind of version control system, and the GitHub is kind of based on this. It is using this Git concept, and they have a website, and Microsoft own it, and something like that. Okay, so this kind of thing, and also Git is something kind of you're working, you're using it for the version control system, but GitHub is you can actually keep your codes there, kind of a cloud system. You can also mention that. Okay, so cloud storage type of thing. Okay, so now if you actually download this GitHub cheat sheet, it is available on internet. So you can see first of all, like kind of setup one, right? So what is this setup? We can see from the presentation. I will show you this one and also the presentation simultaneously. Just see. Okay, so basic Git commands. So first of all, we need to initialize this Git because you cannot use Git automatically because you have installed the Git software, but you haven't installed initialize the Git. Okay, so in this project we are going to initialize our Git. So from where? We are going to use the Git bash. So how did I get this Git bash or something? Remember, I told you to install the Git software. So when you install this Git software, you will be able to use this Git bash and Git UI. Okay, so first of all, Git init. So what is it going to create? Just you can read properly. Initialized empty Git repository in this location. Okay, you know the new folder because we created it in live. And what is it about .git? Let's go. You can see .git because you generally you might not see .git, but what I did, I went to the settings and I actually um, uh, wanted to see the hidden folders too. Okay, so this is a hidden folder. You can also compare it with kind of viruses because sometimes you might get a lot of spamming mails and you click it and is virus is actually installed in your software or it gets into your system. So you might not see the virus, but it makes adequate changes. I think someone is not muted. Kindly mute yourself. Okay. Okay, great. So you can see now .git, right? That means this git is initialized right now. Hmm, okay, I think, I don't know what it was. Kindly mute yourself. I can't find it. Okay, let's go to here. Okay, so now we have to kind of the professionals. You might see professionals using these kind of command tools, and so we have to get used to it. To use Git, we have to use this Git bash here. Okay, so we cannot kind of use kind of go to GitHub and something. GitHub has made it easier for us. Like we don't need to write course and something. Just GitHub, we just we push a button and something and it is done. But right now, when we are doing it manually, we have to write codes. Okay, so it's not writing code, it is kind of commands. So first of all, if we go to the slide, you can see what we mentioned initialization. So what we have to do, the command is git init. So I mentioned, so like this is what actually is done and this is the folder. Then what happens? You can set up. So what is this setup? Basically, the setup is basically like, so when you're using Git, okay, so you don't have a GitHub, we are assuming, okay, because assume that we don't, GitHub has not been kind of founded yet, okay, so you're using the Git, okay, so when you are using Git and you are contributing in a big project and you have 6 of your friends, okay, so you have to assign your name, email with your Git profile, okay, so in a big project, when someone make a change, this Git we'll actually keep this memorized, like this guy has made a change, this something like that. So why we are using the name? We're using the name because, well, in a project, we have to know who has made this change. And also for the mail, it's for a good purpose, because kind of right now, if you don't know the person, you can mail that person, right? Yeah, I have to you can contact them and you can talk with them. So we are not setting it because I've already set it, but I'm not using it. You can do it. But because as we have a kind of 1 hour session, I'm going to try to, we most of the time has been kind of, it might take 9:30 for me. It's like 8 to 26. So it might take 1 more hour, because it is going to be, yeah, it is going to be kind of a long session, but I'm going to try to take it faster. Okay, so let's get it. Okay, so we are not going to set it up because it might take some time, but setting up is, you can add your name and you can add your mail. You can see the example like git config global and username. So why you're using global? Because globally people can see your name, because if you work in a big project, they can know this is your name. Again, if you want to set your mail, this is the same way done. Now let's work with some changes, and what is basically happening in git, and what we must know. Okay, so this is the most important one we need to know. So kind of, we have to know like working directory. That means we are working in a directory. This is the thing. Now let's make a change. Okay, if you make a change, you can take it to the staging area, then you can commit, and this is the work is done. Just, you have to think like it is kind of three work. Okay, so first of all, you make a change, then you take it to the staging area, almost like staging a drama. You have prepared for a for staging a drama, so you have prepared for it. Then you go to the stage and you haven't done performing yet. Okay, then you perform. So three stages. Okay, so you have to understand in this manner. So how we are going to know, or what is this thing? Okay, so let's make a change, and kind of, first of all, how we are going to know if there is any change or something? It is git status. Okay, so just read it. Okay, so if you see here, you can see demo.html. This is the file where we are working on. So nothing added to commit, but untracked files present. So that means, what is untracked? That means you can see git add. Using git add makes your file, takes your file to the staging area, and using git commit is kind of the presentation or staging or something. Okay, the final one. Okay, so that means we have just initialized the git, but we haven't actually take it to the staging area, or because you have to take it to the staging area, then you have to commit. Okay, so this is the must one. So first of all, let me change something here. Then I think there are no issues, but still, let me change something. Okay, done. So my first paragraph and my first commit. Okay, just commit line. This is not a commit message, so we are just adding it. So the first, my first commit line done. Okay, so now let's commit here, like kind of. Okay, still there will be no changes because it will be both the same, because we haven't committed yet. After committing, we if we had make a changes any changes, then there would be some problem with that. I will show you. Okay, so first of all, we are going to take this file to the staging area, then we're going to commit it. So just if you are facing any problem understanding this, just have some patience. You will understand all of this gradually. So let me take it to the staging area. Okay, so how we are going to actually take it to the staging area? So first of all, you have to like git add and the file name. Okay, so also what we can do, we don't need to add the file name. We can use dot. That means all of the files in the directory. You can see OneDrive desktop and new folder. So all of the files in the new folder will be added to taking it to the staging area. It means like you have a team of 10 members. All of you are going to perform in the stage. Okay, or it might happen like one of you are going to perform in the stage. Okay, so as we have just one file demo.html, so we don't need to mention, we can use the dot, or we can write this demo.html, no issues with that. So we're going to use the dot, that means all of the file. Okay, so git add, but it is better not to add dot, because sometimes I saw when I am using the GitHub desktop, the git .git file is also kind of sometimes tracked, or git ignore file also gets tracked. So something, but this will not be an issue. Let's use the dot. Okay. So now what is happening? So before actually committing it, what we're going to do, I'm going to use the GitKraken here, because GitKraken visually shows you what is happening. So you might actually understand what is happening, because I'm talking so much, but you might not understand what is happening, right? So let's start the GitKraken. And also, if you're a student, you can use GitKraken. Okay, there's no issues with that, because if you are a student, you can get the GitHub Student Developer Pack, and after that, you can get the you can call it like a GitKraken Pro for free. Okay, so let me open repository for the new folder, select folder, essentials. Okay, as it is not committed, it's been done. Okay, so initial commit has been done by GitKraken. We were trying to create a commit, but this is a software. When we are using it, we don't have created the README, or we don't have created a commit. It automatically gets on. So we were about to create a commit, but yeah, we are not going to create a commit, because it has by default created a commit. Right now, again, we are going to come here. Let's go here and check. Okay, nothing to commit, because we were about to commit, and when we use the GitKraken, it automatically committed. Now don't need to worry. I'm going to show the process again, and making some changes. Let's my first commit line. Let's create it. My first commit, and control save. Done. Now let's go to here, and we're going to git status. Okay. Now what you can see modified. That means after committing, we have made some changes to the file, which hasn't been tracked, which hasn't been taken to the staging area, which hasn't been committed. So GitHub, sorry, sorry for that. Git has actually tracked it. Okay. So this is what we are using Git for most of the cases, but there are lots of cases like, yeah, the log, DBase and so on and so forth. But we are not going to go deep, because I mentioned it is going to be a basic session. So, but basic stuff doesn't mean like git push and something. I'm going to show, I'm going to take it to the remote, and then also show a lot of stuffs there. Okay, so you have seen that I made a change. Like, okay, just so go to here. My first commit, that was my first commit line. But right now it is my first commit, right? And I just saved it. Okay, and also if you use the Visual Studio Code properly, and you do connect your GitHub with it and something, you can also see. Okay, if you initialize Git, basically it will track it. You can see there is it will also see, it will also show that there is a change. You need to commit it or something. So there are lots of platform to use Git and GitHub. So Visual Studio Code, GitKraken, Git, so many things. Okay, because we are not going to use it. It will be kind of confusing for you, much more confusing, but just going to show you. Okay. Now, why I use GitKraken, I'm going to show you. Just go to here, git add dot. Okay. Now, I made a change, and I've taken it to the staging area. Just now go to the GitKraken. Okay. Now, what you can see here, you can see that there was one commit done. This Git Kraken is actually tracking also. Okay, so visually you can see there is something we are working. That it means WIP means work in progress. And also, if you go here, you can see one file change in working directory. So it is also showing that there is something change. There is something we are working on. And you can see unstage all changes. That is why I use this software, because I'm going to, that does mean that it has been taken to the staging area. Now we can unstage it too using this tool, or also using the Git CLI. So how we can unstage using Git CLI? We can unstage. There are lots of things. You can see the stage. You can see here like reset, and you can add it, and you can reset it too. Okay, to unstage, right? So we can unstage using this reset, or also we can press this and it will be on stage, and again we have to use the we can write git add, and you can stage it, or we can stage it from here too. So there are lots of tools to use git. Okay, so GitKraken has made it easier for us, also GitHub and so on. Okay, so just that's why I just wanted to show you that yes, visually we are working with this, and yes, it is actually going to the staging area. Okay, you can see staged files, right? So I think you have got it. Like we've taken it to the staging area and we have not committed it yet. And that's why when we come here, you can see there is some changes, okay? And we are working with something, it will show. Now let's actually commit it and why I use this clear? It means like there were a lot of codes, just cleared it, and where the codes are not deleted or something, just remove from here. Okay, now let's commit it. And how to commit, right? Just go here. You can see git commit dash m and descriptive message. That means git commit is used for committing, and m, that means after m we are going to use a message. So what is this message for? Okay, so assume you are going to work in a big project, so you made a simple change. So if a maintainer comes, so how will he or she understand, like what is the change or something? So if he or she watches the message, like kind of changed this part or something, then he or she will understand, okay, this is the one I have to check it, right? It makes it easier, right? So I can actually add a message to. So git commit, um, commit line to commit. So why we wrote it? Because just mention this, it is not a code, okay? You can see my first commit, it was like commit line and I made it to commit, right? So this is the change I've made and just mentioned it, right? This is the message, it is not part of code, but this is part of code or command you can mention, not code actually. Okay, right now you can see like there is a commit made, right? Now, if you go here, okay, now you can't find that work in progress or something, and also you can see changed commit line to commit. This is what we wrote, right? Changed commit line to commit. So this GitKraken will also make things easier for you to understand. If you are new, like if you're working with Git for the first time, it will make it easier for you. Like, okay, so I think things are getting easier for you a bit. Okay, so do you have any questions till now? You can mention like if you haven't understand anything till now, but yeah, but if you have any general query, we can talk in the FAQ session. But if you haven't understand till now, kind of git push, sorry, we haven't used the git push or something like git commit or something, you can mention. Or if you don't have problem, I will continue. No issues from anyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So no issues from anyone. That's good, obviously. Great. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, now, so what are the problems we have solved? We do know now, like how to commit, how to take it to the staging area. Now we might think for the bigger picture. Now let's work with the branch. This is the last part, like working with the branch, and then we'll go and show you the remote one, how to work with the remote repositories, and then we'll go for the CNCF glossary. Okay, so most of the times went by, but yeah, obviously good things take some time. Okay, so now the branching part, and why is we are going to know about branching? Let me actually go and show you by writing something. Okay, so what is basically this branching, right? So what happens basically is like, sorry for that. Yeah, okay. So if we, how we came up with this branching idea. So if you kind of know about the a tree structure kind of thing, right? So a tree might have a lot of things, right? So we are not talking about this part, just these branches and the main part. Okay, so if we have some water, like if someone of you have a tree in your kind of roof tower, so if you go provide some water here, what happens basically, the water is kind of pulled from here and it goes from here, here, and also here, and also here, also here, something, right? That means, that means kind of, that means this branch is kind of, if you if you just talk about this one, this branch kind of, okay, so you can see this part has been common, right? It has passed the main one and also the excess part, right? Main plus excess, right? Just main plus excess, right? This is the important thing. Okay, so and also assuming this branch is B1, this is B2 and B3 and this is B4. Okay, so what happens basically for the B3 it was also like this one, right? Right, so this is kind of thing. So this concept will actually make you understand much more properly what is this main and branch. You might understand think that okay, am I making this kind of complex or something? No, just now let me understand you properly, like what is basically happening. So assume that in the main branch, that means this part. Let me just remove it, no issues. Okay, so we had this one, this one. Okay, so also we had this kind of as B1, B2, just changing the name B1, B4. Okay, so the main, when we create a B1, that means B1 has access to main and also access, right? Access, right? Okay, great. So also for the B2, if you talk about B2, it's also main plus access, right? Okay, main plus access. Then, so this is the important part. Like every branch has the kind of copied the main branch, and then you can make some access changes or something. Okay, so how you are going to understand about it? I think let's go to the CNCF glossary or something, some project. So, and I can show you what is happening there so that you can understand the bigger picture before starting with the branching, because you might actually confuse it with it. Okay, so let me go and search for the CNCF glossary. Okay, already here. Okay, so what is this CNCF glossary? We're going to mention it also in the last part. So if you search the CNCF glossary, just okay, so this is the project. This is the website. Okay, so this is kind of what is the CNCF glossary. Let me actually mention it right now, because yeah, in the last obviously we are going to mention it again, but let me mention it again. So CNCF glossary is something like if you're working with the cloud native projects and cloud native things, you might actually heard some concept or words, something like that. Okay, there are lots of words actually. So you might actually it might be overwhelming for you, like auto scaling. You might not even heard of it, like you are a first year student or beginner, fresher. So an API gateway abstraction, so and so many things. So what CNCF did, sorry, is like they have stored all of those terms and actually created some definition for you. If you go to the abstraction, you can see what is the basically abstraction means. What is basically auto scaling means, right? You can see auto scaling. What is this cloud computing means, right? What it is, problem it addresses, how it helps. Okay, so it is not in English only. So if you're a Hindi user or if you are any language user, okay, you can start this project. Okay, what you have to do, just go to the CNCF Slack, and I will show all of those, no issues. But you have to go to the CNCF Slack, and you have to mention the maintainers like we want to work with this localization. So currently we have like Portuguese team, Korean team, Spanish team, Chinese, Bengali, and Dutch. Okay, so this 6 teams along with English one is currently live, and although we are working with it. So this website is here, right? You can see if you go to the Bengali, most as I'm in Bengali, and so you can see there are kind of 10 terms already written here. But now let's go to the CNCF Glossary GitHub and make you see the changes. Okay, so here is the main branch. Okay, you can see main, right? Here is the main branch. Now for the actually Bengali, or you can say Bangla localization, you can see you can write dev. Okay, so all of these are kind of other languages we are working on, the teams are working on. You can say Arabic, Bengali, Dutch, Spanish, and so on, French. Okay, so we are going to the Debian. Okay, so if you go to the Debian, what happens? Kind of, if you go to the content here under the BN, these are the files we have already done. Okay, but these files are not in the website. So which files are in the website? Which files are in the website? Let me go again into the glossary and into the main. Just you have to memorize this thing. I'm going to this, first of all, content, right? Then this bn. Okay, okay. This is the same thing. I'm going to repeat it again. Just see. Under the glossary, I go into the content and bn, and I can see there are kind of index, abstraction, agile, software development. So almost the 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? This 10 is here. Okay, because in the main branch, we have the CNCF organization has actually published the main branch. So all of the codes and something in the main branch is published. But we also have another branch. Okay, kind of we have a branch. This is main branch. Okay, I showed you, and we have another branch. It is called devbn, right? This is a branch, so it has the copy of main. The 10 files are also extra files. Okay, this is the important for the branching. We have to understand. So most people don't understand this kind of thing. When you are creating branch, you copy you will see when you are going to create a branch, you might see create branch from main or from this you will see. So what that means is it will copy the branch. What is inside the thing, it will copy, and you can add some extra. So if you go to devbn, you can see we have this abstraction as in software development and so on. Those 10 files are here, but still we have added more files here. You can see. So this is the beauty of branching. Okay, so it hasn't been published because the big maintainers, like the important maintainers, will check it out. Like if there is any mistake or something, then they will publish it. They didn't find any mistake in those 10 files, and I created a pull request or something like that. So if you don't know about pull request, merging, and so on, you don't need to worry about it. The just pull request means what? I've made some changes. I'm telling the maintainer to add it to the main project. I've made a change for you. Please add it to your main project. Done. So you are going to create a request, and the maintainer will check it out and just going to pull request. I'm going to show you just a simple pull request. We are using the get right now, or you can see the bn file as I'm a maintainer of this file. So you can see what happens here. So this person, Abhijit, I know him personally. So what he did, he created actually made a change, or made a file, actually created this localized a file. This is called kind of, if you go here, it is like service.md markdown file. So he's made these changes, and he wants to add it to the devbn branch. You can see how CNCF, that means the organization name, devbn means the branch. In which branch you want this to be merged, you want this to be copied or something like that. So this is this file, and also this is Abhijit's ID and his branch. Okay, so I will show you.
Kindly help repeat
Which one?
from the CNCF glossary to a branch.
Okay, right now this pull request one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, great, sure. Okay, so basically, let me go take you to Abhijit's branch. Actually, I am pressing this one. Okay, let's go to Abhijit's ID. Okay, this is Abhijit's ID. So these are important part, like forking or something like that. So what is forking? Okay, so when you want to work in with kind of any project, you have to fork it. That means copying the main project in your own repository. What is repository? Repository means normal folder. Okay, if you compare it with our local system, it is kind of folder. Okay, so I can also show you mine one, but just no issues. You can see here Abhijit and slash glossary. So what happened? He actually forked it from CNCF Glossary. This was the main actually project. So he went there. What he did, he just pressed this button. Okay. So what happened? This file or project has been copied and in his own actually account. How can we know it? Just go to Abhijit's ID. You can go to Abhijit's ID and you can press the repositories. You can see this one. You can see glossary, right? He doesn't own it, but what he did, he want to contribute with it or contribute in it. And what he did, basically he forked it. Okay. So this is how we fork it, because if we want to actually contribute or work with it. Okay. So yeah, I have came to the main branch actually. Okay. So after forking it, okay, after forking it, still what happens, the CNCF glossary, we will have the same things. All of the things in CNCF glossary will be copied here. All of the things. You can see the main branch and all of the branches are copied here. There's nothing new. So why do we fork, right? You might ask, why do we fork? So nothing changed. The important part is now you're the owner of this fork. Okay, how? You can create any branch. You can actually merge it, anything in the main branch too, and so on and so forth. But there will be no change in CNCF glossary. You can make any changes here. You can just delete all of this. No issues. You can delete all of this. But there will not be a single change in the CNCF glossary. When will we have the change? We will have the change when Abhijit deletes all of these files here, and then he creates a pull request to the maintenance like, I've deleted all of the files except it. So when the kind of maintenance watches it and says that all of the files are deleted and it is good for him, he also wants all of the files to be deleted. If he merges it, all of the files will be deleted from the CNCF glossary. So this is what is the beauty of kind of working in open source, or beauty of kind of forking and GitHub. So when you have forked, okay, so basically all of the things are here copied. Now you are the owner. You can make some changes in any branch or something. Like, so what Abhijit did, like if we go to the previous one, his branch, this one. Okay. So Abhijit has created another branch under, you have to understand this. Abhijit has created another branch. So how did he create this branch? So this is how, just if you're a beginner, you might actually think, oh, this is so overwhelming for me. I'm just confused. I'm just trying my best to understand you properly. What he basically did, what he basically did is he copied all of the files from dev.bn. So can you tell me why he copied all of the files from the dev.bn? I'm going to show you in kind of visually, but can you tell me why he copied all of the files from the dev.bn and created a new branch? Can you tell me? Can any one of you tell me?
Because he wanted to add to the devbn, and like devbn is the most updated one, because in the main branch the other files are not there always.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so this is why we did it, because just go to kind of, if under this repository, just if you go to the main one branch, okay, you can go to the content and it will also under the BN folder, because BN is for the Bengali files or Bangla files. You can see the 10 files only, right? But Abhijit, if just he follows this branch, he might not even know there is a different maintainer for Bangla language or Bengali language, and there has been all of the almost 25 files already done. If he kind of works with one of the files which has already been done among the 25, his time has been kind of wasted, right? So what you have to do, he if he creates any branch, he will copy from dev.bn, because there is kind of 25 files. So all of those will be copied and he will add a new one and then he will mention. So I'm going to visually show you what happens here so that you can understand what is happening. Okay, just I think there was no just wait. Okay, okay, so let me show what is happening basically. Okay, so as I mentioned, like we have CNCF glossary, right? Okay, so the CNCF glossary have also main branch, and also there are lots of branches, right? Let me call one of these is dev.bn, right? One of these, there are lots of branches, right? So, okay, so basically in the main for the Bangla, assuming our target is working in Bangla or Bengali, okay? This is our native language, so why not? But no issues. I'm not. Obviously, you can work with it. You work with your own language too. But let me start with it. Okay. So here for the main branch, what happens is like for the main branch, this is main and these are branches. Main. You don't need to call it main branch, but obviously it is also a branch. Like right, it is also a branch. Okay. So it has just Bangla files, 10 files, right? But if you go from here to here also totally, here we have additional 15. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, so as I haven't used the red color or something, you might understand. Okay, no issues, just all of this, right? Only. Okay, just also Might be confusing for the drawing. I'm not a good drawing artist or something like that. Okay, no issues. Just let me again remove it. Just what I mentioned, like for the main branch, what happened? We have just 10 files, right? But in the dev bin, we have extra 15, right? So this is why we have to focus on, right? Just okay, just let me, okay, just okay. So this is the dev bn, and here we have just 10 files. Here we have 15 more, right? So basically in the dev bin, if we go, what happens? Basically, we can see that we have totally 25 because this 15 and 10 was copied when we created dev bin from main. When we were creating dev.bn, we as a maintainer, we created it copying from the main. And okay, so it was copied or something. It just you have to you assume that. And also, so dev.bin is always it has most of the files because it has been like we're working with it, we have not merged it or something. So it is the kind of you can say experimental branch or something. Okay, for our local maintainers. Okay, Bangla maintainers. Okay, so we are working with it. So what happened when actually Abhijit did is he fought it, and what happened? He got the same thing. He got the same branch, right? Let me draw it again. Same main branch, same something. Okay, this is the important. Just understand. Debian. He had the same thing exactly. What he did, he copied like he copied and copied from Debian, and then he had kind of you can call it here another branch. Okay, this was the Debian, but this is kind of Abhijit's one. Abhijit. Okay, so this is another branch, right? So we can also create another one, no issues with that. But what Abhijit did, he created another branch. So it when he created this one, what happened? It copied all of the files it had previously. When we created Debian, it copied all of the files. Previously we had 10 and extra we had 15 so 25. So when Abhijit actually created these from copying from Debian, what he did 20, 15, 10, and Abhijit's extra one file he actually worked on. Okay, so now I think there are a lot of things cleared, right? Abhijit's extra one file, and how we are going to know about Abhijit's extra file or something, just go to the main website and let's go and check the pull request, right? Bengali or something. Okay, here you can see that is the Abhijit's new file, extra one file. So why or how we know the extra file? Actually, what happens when someone create a repository? Oh, sorry, a pull request. Actually, it compares. So what compares? You can see here. It compares between these two. It compares between these two. How? Let me show you again here. Okay, so when someone creates a pull request, it compares. So if you compare this one and this one, you can find this is the extra part, right? Have you got my point? If you compare these two branches, you will see this is the extra part, right? Right? So this is how actually when we create a pull request, this is how they know kind of what is the extra file that has been worked on under this repository, sorry, in the branch or something. Because how? Because when you went to the CNCF debian, you want to merge it to the CNCF debian. So what it will check like, okay, so Abhijit's, I will show you again. Let me show you again so you don't make a mistake. Let me show these two differently. CNCF's the Debian branch under CNCF and the Abhijit service branch under Abhijit's account. So you will find a one file change. Okay, so let me go. Sorry. This is the okay. I don't know how to remove it. This is the problematic thing. Okay. 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 No issues. Okay. So if we go to the CNCF glossary, you can see. Okay. So what I mentioned, if you go to the this pull request and what happened, Abhijit mentioned merge my branch to your branch and take all of the changes out here. Okay, told him. So let me go to the CNCF Debian branch which he targeted, where he want all of his changes to be put. And let me take you to Abhijit's branch, where what is the change we can see, right? Okay, let me go to the, you can see CNCF glossary, and this is the branch. Okay, now let me go to the content, and under the BN, obviously he made changes under the BN, so that's why we can, if he would have made any changes in English or something, it would also be visible to us. Okay, so it actually compared, it found a new file, it mentioned it here. For the maintainer, it mentioned it here. So it copied, it actually checked those two branches and found a new file, and it mentioned it here. Okay, so how we are going to see, you can see under this branch, check it carefully. We are going to find this file like service.md, if we have service.md or not. Okay, because it is going to start from S, so we are going to search it. Self-healing software as service, right? We don't have service.md, right? Let me go to Abhijit's branch and Abhijit's account and Abhijit's service branch, and let me go again to the content. Then go to the BN for the Bengali one. And also now let me search. You can see, can you see service.md? Right? Have you found out service.md which is not present in kind of here? Yeah, because it's self-healing, but I think there is not self-healing. Self-healing. Okay, so because he has not updated it yet, but there are some things you have to actually update, and something you will know when you are gradually using GitHub actually, because kind of assume like you forked a project in 2019. Now you want to work with it. So within this kind of almost 4 years, what happened? There has been lots of changes, so you have to update the branch. Okay, something. So I think he hasn't updated it, so there is no kind of self-healing one, right? So you can also see the self-healing one was created in 3 days back, right? So I think he didn't when he created this one. Yeah, so when he created or he worked with it, he didn't actually update it, and that's why he created this file yesterday, but he didn't update it, and there's no self-healing. So no issues with that. This is not our problem, but the problem is what is the new file out here? So uh, okay, so what is the new file out here? So this will actually compare it. So here we have found our service.md, but here we don't have any service.md, right? So this is what actually GitHub compares and make us show like what we need to work on or what the maintainer should check into, right? So this is what basically pull request is. This is the branch we have targeted to put our codes, and this is our branch or something we have worked on or something. And this something, and this is the file we have worked on something. So you have any question here? Because I have tried my best to understand you properly about the branching, because this is the most important part. Most of the people have the issues with this branching thing. Even I had to have a meeting with Abhijit to make him understand how which branch he need to copy. Okay, so this is normal because I also started from zero. He might also start from zero, no issues. But this is the branching part is the most important, and most of the people actually make mistakes here. Okay, do you have any question here? Like, have you understood like why we need branching? What are we doing here in the branches? Okay, something. Have you any questions? Are you guys getting my points or something, or you are overwhelmed by what I have mentioned? I'm not getting. Hello, are you there?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, no, no problem yet. Kind of great for me, but obviously, okay, let me progress. So this is the main concept of branching. We have seen it in the GitHub, but what we can do, basically, we can also locally create branches, locally work with this kind of thing. So this is what we can use the branch for. This branching, just see this picture. What happened? This is the master, like the tree is main. It is master because actually when Git was introduced, we used this master term. Okay, but it is kind of using the slave thing or something. As GitHub and Microsoft promotes inclusion and diversity, we don't use master right now. Okay, How we are going to know about it? Because if you go into the glossary, you can see the main one, right? It has been changed and few years back. Okay, and still there are some big old projects which has master in it, but it has been also changed. Okay, so you can see main here, but if you're working locally, you can see master. You can have you seen master one, right? So you're using Git because locally Git and GitHub is not same. So they are using this master term, but the GitHub is using main. So you can also see this my account and locations and also the branch here. There is only the master branch, or I'm in the master branch on the master branch. So that's why it is showing the master tab. Okay, but if I create a branch and I make some changes, it will be something. It will be different. Okay, so let me go to the slide again. So we have almost done most of the part of our session actually. Just let me finish it quickly. So now you can see the master branch, and there are two teammates. Assume you have kind of a team which has two teammates. Okay, so you have the color, like you have chosen the blue color and someone has the yellow. Okay, so now the thing is, he has kind of, what is this dot means? Do you know what this dot means? Can you guess what this dot means? We have used this term, or we have actually worked with this dot. What do you know what this dot means? Any of you? I think. Mm. Okay. As no one is having some response. So let me tell it. So this dot means commit. Okay. We have previously created a subcommit. So let me go to the GitKraken and show you. You can see this dot, and this has also my image. Okay. Why this has my image or something? This is kind of when it was 2017. This image was like for the admission period or something. Okay. So but no issues. The thing is, you can see dot dot, right? What it means? This, and also you can, this means the commit and also the commit and commit message, right? GitKraken is famous for visually representing these Git things. Okay, and GitHub is not that much for the visually representing, but yeah, it is a software or something. Yeah. Okay, so you can just if you use GitKraken, it will be easier for you, I think. You can see the master, this is, there is a dot because when we created this, we have worked in something and we created a branch, or sorry, we made a commit. Okay, so we made, anyone had a question? Okay, if you kindly mute yourself. Okay. Yeah. Great. Now, what happens? You can see the master branch has one commit, two commit, three commit, four, five. So, but assume that we had this just this master branch. We created this and we created a commit. Then what happened? Two of your teammates came, like two. No, that means like assume you have a team of three members. Okay, so one of the members, like you are the maintainer, and another two, don't take it for the you work or something, just take it the member two's work and member three's work. Okay, so what happens here, after creating the first commit, so member two actually did what, he actually created a branch, and he also made some changes and commits and something. So under this branch, this is the commits, these are the commits. Okay, under this branch, after creating the branch, he also made some commits, so these are some dots, right? And also it is working. Okay, your friend team member 2 is working on that branch. Okay, but also what happens, you are a maintainer, you are also working with your own pace, so you all have also made some changes, and these are some commits, right? Dot dot. Okay, okay, so these are kind of, yeah, the main branch, or as I have shown you, the CNCF glossary also has the main branch. So all of the what we can see in the website is all the code, all of the codes are in the main branch. Okay, so you are the main maintainer and something like that. So what you do, what you make, whatever you make the commit or something, all of those are published in the website. Assume that you have a website that is called like team, what is it, team 123. Okay, so all of the course here will be actually added here. Okay, all of the course added in the main or master branch will be actually published in the team 123. Okay, now your friend actually created a branch and he made some changes, created some comments. So these are kind of thing, dot, dot, dot in the branch. Okay. Now, okay, at this point, after 1, 2, 3, this point, third team member created another branch. So always you can see it is actually the all of the branches are actually above this main branch because it copies it, right? Kind of branch, right? It trees branches. You might say it also might even say kind of it has if you look into it like this goes through, right? This might you can call it right this. Okay, that means when he created the team member 3 actually created a branch, he also copied all of the codes from main. When you team member 2 copied, he only got these changes in his branch. And all of these are new. All of these are new. But when you team member 3 created the branch, he got these 3. You have to understand this. You have to understand this. So these 3. Okay, so this is the most important part. So branching is something like that. Okay, so again I can show you because if you go to the CNCF glossary, you can see we have main branch, but not only main branch, right? We have dev bn, but we also have dev Hindi, we have dev French. So let's go to the Hindi branch. Okay, so when we went to this Hindi branch, you can see if you go to the content and let me go to the Bengali one, right? Just the 10, right? Why? You have to understand because when he actually copied from the main branch, he didn't copy from the Debian branch. So main branch has just the 10 files, but Debian has 25. So this is the difference kind of branching or sorry for that. Okay, so this is why like when he created the branch, the main branch had 3 commits. When he created the branch, the main branch had 1 commit. Okay, so this is how you will gradually understand. You have to contribute to open source. That's why this session is for. If you start contributing to CNCF's glossary localization, this is what I am going to. I have mentioned a lot about it, but I am going to talk something like more 10 minutes with it. So if you work with this project, you will easily understand what is branching and something. Before maintaining this project, I was also noob. To be honest, I didn't know how to work with branch, and I was so overwhelmed. But the maintainers are so friendly. Even they can come to you kind of if you want to have a one-to-one conversation, they can come and have a meeting with you, right? As I actually told you, like I also had a meeting with Abhijit to mention like what is this branching, what he had to copy and something. So he's now doing great. So if you work in real life project, this Git concept and your experience will be kind of stronger, and you can work in kind of much bigger projects. So you have to start. If you just think like you are going to work in your third year, fourth year, or after graduation, it is not going to start. You have to start right now. Okay, so this is the beauty of branching. Okay, I'm not going to, as we don't have that much time. So I could have easily create branches, but I'm going to show you some basic things and just some basic things how we can create the branches in locally. Just I'm going to show what if we write git branch. Sorry. Okay, so you can see right now we have just one branch, this master branch. That's why we can also see the star one, right? But let me create a branch. And as I'm in the master branch and I'm going to create another branch using this command, that branch will actually copy all of the codes of this master. Okay. That branch will copy all of the codes of this master. How? Let me git branch and then kind of demo one, right? Okay. So can we see any changes? No changes. Let me show you. Again, we place this one, git branch. You can see there are 2 branches, the master and demo one, right? The master one is with star. That means we are currently in the master branch, but we can also go to the demo one. Now, the beauty of working with branching is, let me show you, we are actually in the master branch and the total local system you're working on is also in the master. Okay, or you can call this one because here we are in the demo.html and we have actually opened this folder and we're working in it. and this is also in the main or master branch. Okay, now how will we understand? Let me show you. This is the beauty. So I must actually show you this one. Git switch, just to switch from master to demo one, right? Switch to branch, and you can see demo one, right? Now let me go to here, and you'll see there is no change, right? You can call, why you made a mistake, or what is this? No changes. I told you when I created, just go here. If we have the master branch, right? We create under the master branch. We are in the master branch, and we created. We actually put this command git branch demo one. That means we copy it from the master branch and we create a new branch. Now we can make new changes here. Let me change it here. Okay, my first commit with, sorry, with, that means in branch demo one, right? This kind of control save done. Now you can also see kind of it will show you like there is a file that has been modified and something. Now assume that you have just this branch. Just now I would like to see status. Okay, you will see there has been a file that has been modified, but it has not been committed or something. Let me commit it. First of all, I have to take it to the staging area, right? But before taking it, let's go and check it out, the GitKraken. What has happened? Can you see there is master and demo one too? This is the, I find it interesting because uh, visually I can see every changes. Okay, you can also see it is in the local system, local, two branches, so 2 out of 2, remote 00, because I have not connected this local system or local folder with GitHub or GitLab or something. Okay, so this is, it shows, this is, that's why I also like this platform a lot, like GitKraken. Okay, if you here come here and you can see, let me take it to the staging area, git add dot done, git commit, sorry, um, so commit from branch to, let me, okay, done. So let me go to the, and go to this GitKraken. Can you see here? This master branch has just 2 commits, changed commit line to commit and initial commit. But this demo branch has another commit, and visually you can see that master branch doesn't have this new commit. Okay, master branch doesn't have the new commit. Just if you look into here, the master had this one commit, and I created a branch and I made a commit. Okay, have you understood kind of what I'm telling you, right? If there is any problem, kindly mention me right now, because these are the most important, and I do find it interesting. When I did find, because when I started learning these kind of things. So master branch had a commit, but when I create another branch, I also created a commit, and those commits are not available in the master or main branch. So you can see those commits are not available. Okay, these are this, but demo, this is kind of only available for the demo one branch. Okay, now let me come here, and you can see I can also show you what is happening here. My first commit in branch demo one, right? It is under the demo one branch. Let me switch to the master, and what do you guess? What is your guess? What will be there? Will there be my first commit in branch demo one or my first commit? What do you say? What is your opinion? Kindly share me. I want to go there. Before going there, I really want to know, what do you guess? Will there be this change, this one, or it will not have this change? It will have the previous one. What do you say? Really important one, because I tried my best to understand you properly, but make you understand. But can you mention what will happen? Anyone, if you, no one.
I think it will have this change.
Okay, you think you have, okay. This is one thing. Another one. Anyone? Nobody for not these changes to the main master branch? No one? No one supporting that? Okay, I don't know if you're listening to me properly, but okay, let me show you what happens. We are in the demo one branch. That's why the Visual Studio Code is also having this demo one, all of the codes under the demo one branch. Okay, but let me switch to the master. Let's see. No, it doesn't have the change. I told you. Why? I told you. Under the master, we just made those commits. It will save those and branching. It had different things, right? So this is the beauty of working with branches, right? I think you have got my point right now. I think you should. Because master had these changes, but when we went to another branch, we made some changes of our own. Kind of, this is an experimental branch. We can create anything, but it will not obviously affect anything. You can see this picture. Master had one commit, two commit, three commit, but these commits have never been kind of merged or kind of put into the master branch. Okay, so this is the important part. So that's why I have told you so many things about branching. I have taken you to the main, one of the biggest project of CNCF and something, just to show you what happens in main branches. There's no issue if you don't find it, if you haven't guessed it properly, but you will gradually understand, right? Okay, so now you can also go to here and you can see, have you see, kind of, you can see this has been highlighted, right? Previously it was demo one highlighted because we were in the demo one branch. Right now we are in the master branch, right? So that's why it is highlighted. And see, master branch has just two commits. How can it have that one? Commit means we have made some changes and we have taken into the staging area, or something like you have taken a preparation for some performance. You have taken, you have went to the stage and then you have performed. That means someone will ask, have the performance done? Right? Something like that. So this performance hasn't been done for master batch or something like that. Okay. So this is the two different things. We You can continue this kind of thing if you you can think the master branch has his own commits and also this branch has its own commits. Okay, it can happen, but at some point you can think like, yeah, I have been working with this branch and there have some made changes. Let me add it to the master branch because the that branch has been. So why we work with the branch? Can you tell me for the localization software or project? I just showed you this branch, master branch. So can you tell me why we generally have these branches? Any idea? You don't need to be kind of, you can google it or something like that, but you can, you tell me why generally we do have this branch? You can tell also this thing like what I mentioned here, like you can work simultaneously different things like copying the initial codes from the main what we had, then we can work add some codes or something. You can mention that if you have, if you just understand this kind of thing, you can mention that. But I just need to know that you guys are understanding it properly, because we have invested almost yeah, almost like 1 hour and 30 minutes, right, for the session. But so it is important for you to understand things properly. Okay, can you tell me any other uses or this one, or this was very interesting for you, or you didn't understand it properly? You can mention it. There is no issue with that. I am assuming everyone is new because new to Git, because Git is learning Git is very beginner friendly and very actually new. So most of the people who are actually new or haven't learned it properly has actually attended the session. So I know it properly. So kindly mention it. There's no fear. Okay, you guys need to be actually need to respond. No response means that I haven't made you understand properly. Anyone?
By branching, we can copy to our own repositories and then we can edit it and add our features.
Yeah, sure. That's obviously, yeah. That's great to hear from you. Thank you,
And then
Anika. Mm-hmm.
if we have any mistakes over there, it will not affect the main branch. So,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
suppose we have launched it in a server, so
Mm.
we if we want to update or that app, so we don't have to stop our server or the running codes.
Yes, these are the things kind of you if you're working with development or if you're working in big projects. Because assume that you have a big project like $1 billion company. So all of the things are kind of hosted in a website or something. So if you make any changes, and so actually if you're working in a big project, that thing has to be actually tested many times, several times. So if you just launch it into the main, if you just copy the code or upload it in the main branch, that might create a massacre situation, right? So you create another branch, and under the branch, you just test the whole website, like, because you can see what happened here. Sorry, here when we are in the master branch, we have this website, right? Like how? Let me go here in this website. Like this is the website or demo, kind of, you can see my first heading, my first paragraph, my first commit. This is the website we have launched. Assume that this is the website we have launched. But when we switch it to the demo branch, what happens? It switch. Assume that we are testing.
I can't see the screen.
Let's see. I think you have an internet issue or something. Um, the screen is shared actually. Do you get any of you share having the same problem?
No, I can see your screen.
Mm, yeah, I think you are facing some problem, Benjamin. Uh, Kindly check your internet for a bit, but this session will be recorded, so no issues with that. I think you can get the recording too also. Okay, so let's continue. No issues, Benjamin, you can reach out to me. I will share the session recording if you need. Okay, so let's continue. So here what happened, just see what happened when we switch to the demo branch and we have code this for my first commit in branch demo one. Now the website has been changed. Now the website has my first commit in branch demo one. So it is just a simple HTML file. That's why we are kind of, we can find it like just simple change. But if we had like 10 thousands of repositories or files, it would have created some massacre if there was any bug or any CI/CD pipeline issues, right? So this is the most important part we need to focus on, right? So this is why we use this branching, because we can work simultaneously at the same money along with this main branch or something. So at one point you might think, okay, this branch has been tested enough, now let me actually merge it to the main. You can do it too. How? Just if we go here, you can see git merge and the branch name. So first of all, we have to go to the master branch to actually merge all of our codes from another branch to the master. Let's switch to the master. Git switch. Okay, now, so what is happening now? What will happen after merging? The master will also have the same thing of the demo of the demo one branch. Okay, so let me. But previously, actually see like, yeah, this master branch has just my first commit, but after merging, it will change, right? Git merge demo one. Okay, you can also write, see that like fast forward, you don't need to understand this fast forward thing. That means that easily it was been merged, it has been merged, and you can see one file changed, one insertion, one deletion, and etc. etc. You will gradually understand that. Just go here. You can see here, you can see this is the master branch. Okay, also you can see here, this is the master branch now. The master branch has these three commits right now. One, two, three. The master branch, under the master branch, we have three commits. Okay. So this is the beauty of working with branches. So that I showed you about the branches because if you work with CNCF Glossary, you have to understand the basic things about branches. And branches, I have previously showed you the branches thing, right? Like there are lots of branching issues, dev vm branch, main branch, and dev another branches. So when you're working with it, you have to work with this branches thing. Basically this branch thing, you don't need to understand any other thing. Basically just add your codes under the branches things and create the pull request. As a maintainer, we will do other things like rebasing and so on. You don't need to understand it right now. You will gradually understand it if you need. But for this project contribution, just need to understand this branching thing. So for our session, just we are done with the git. We will take just 5 minutes or something for the glossary, and I can end the session because it like 1 hour and 30 minutes, right? Almost passed by. Okay, so let me talk about like CNCF glossary or something. Okay, sorry. Okay, so CNCF Cloud Native Glossary, removing language barriers for it can be another language too. Just I'm mentioning about Bengali or something. So what is the agenda or something? Cloud native definitions. So under the CNCF glossary, we have the cloud native definitions like 50, 60 definitions. But obviously, if you are a maintainer or if you want to localize, or localize mean kind of translate or something, but obviously translation, like if you go for like what is the main difference between translation, like the CNCF has enough money to easily translate or automate this system, right? But they didn't, because if you put any English and translate it using Google Translator, the actually sentence you will have, this will not this might not seem actually proper sentence. Okay, because still all of these tools are not that much perfect. So as humans we are kind of localizing this kind of thing. So also you have another opportunity. In the February first week there will be Google Summer of Docs that will be launched. So Google Summer of Code, if you are familiar with Google Summer of Code, there is also Google Summer of Docs. This is for documentation. So if you are already working with this kind of documentation files, you have a very good chance to select it in this kind of project or something, because and you will get paid 3 to 5 lakhs, or you own you can call it like in Indian rupees or Bangladeshi taka, or for yeah, something like that. Okay, so the if you're working with documentation, so you have a very good chance of getting selected in Google Summer of Docs. So it will be launched in the next month's first week. Okay, so let me talk about the glossary. So cloud native definitions. So in the website, we are working with cloud native definitions, also the cloud native glossary. These are the agendas we are going to talk. Different ways to contribute to open source. There are lots of ways we are going to talk it, and why localization matters, and how to get started or something. Okay, so cloud native definitions, not going to talk that much. So now the thing is, CN terms often owned by vendors, not free from bias, and often just marketing tactics, and so not necessarily kept up to date. So what are these kind of things I mentioned or something? I'm going to make it simple for you. So cloud native terms, as I mentioned, if you're working with DevOps, if you're in your first year and you are going to work with DevOps, for my own example, I started to work with DevOps from my first semester. So what happened when I was watching the videos and learning, there was a lot of terms, auto scaling and so on. I was so overwhelmed, and there was no one that person knew about those kind of terms in my own college or university. So I was overwhelmed. So gradually, for after 2 years now, I know all of most of the terms, and I'm working with cloud and so on. So these things have been easier for us. But obviously, kudos to cloud native CNCF glossary. So as they have actually launched this website, and we can now mention what this term means, what is the application of this term. So this is why if you search the CNCF only, their website also features CNCF glossary. They are this project because they are proud of this project, because obviously people are now getting exposed to the knowledge from the earlier part. Okay, so cloud native definitions has been so this is the definition: abstraction, service.md. You know about it. So I will show you also. Now, the CNCF glossary website, previously I've shown you, right? So this is the website basically. So you can see there are lots of languages which is available there. 8 languages generally right now. And simple language for a non-technical and technical audience, launched at KubeCon 2021 with 51 words. Okay. So it was launched in 2021. Okay, then glossary goal. That our goal is to kind of become the most trusted, objective, up-to-date CNCF definition. Like CNCF, sorry, CN. CN means cloud native. So anything related to the cloud. Okay, where you are working with cloud, because cloud is really become very much important, because if you just talk about this auto scaling, when you're learning cloud, you will actually heard about it a lot of time, right? Auto scaling, how to scale it properly, or actually vertically, or so on and so forth. So if you don't know this auto scaling, what is this, you might not understand. So these kind of terms are here, and we want to become the most trusted place in the world, actually whole world, right? People can actually come here and easily understand what is it, what problem it address, something like that. We're going to update up to date these definitions. A go-to resource for newbies and pros. Okay, as I mentioned, for the For a first semester student, it might be we want to make it easier, like this term, and you can read it and you can understand it properly. Also, how you can help? Use the glossary to learn about CN term. You can learn these CNCF terms or CN terms and link back to definitions whenever you write about CN. Educate your customers or colleagues on CN. So what CN means? Cloud native. So cloud native terms, if you're learning something, you can learn. Also, you can share it, right? This is how you can help. Also, as you see it, submit a PR or raise an issue if you see something is outdated, needs improvement, or is missing. What is missing? Kind of, if you have come up with a new term which is available in cloud native and it is not in the website, you can mention, you can create a PR. Also, you can localize. This is also a different part. This is actually mentioned for the English part, English localization, because there is a kind of the whole website is in English, and also there are another teams, few teams who are actually working with another localization of the English website. So basically, first the main team works with the English website, and others actually work with them. What needs to be done, what needs to be localized from English to their own language. Okay, so this is what mentioned. Like you can work with the cloud native things, and you can come up and share something. Okay, so again, this is the most important part. Contributing is not only about code; it is about helping in community. Okay, so it is told by Nitika. So this is the contribution, CNCF glossary contribution or something. It is not technical localization one, because it is not that much technical. You are not writing any codes. You're just writing English sentence or any other sentence or localizing sentences. So it can be non-code too. Yes. So that means non-technical is also under contribution or open source. Okay. So this is a thing. So different ways to contribute to open source. Let me take you. So there are different ways like code. So if you want to contribute to by coding, it is like you can contribute by coding or something. So there is a program also, Google Summer of Code. You can see Google Summer of Code. Okay, so that is you have to contribute using your coding ideas, and you have to learn. You have to be skilled enough. For the documentation, you have to know about documentation, how to work with, how to kind of work with, and how to launch that system locally. So there are lots of actually things, Hugo or something you have to know, because I will show you though. But yeah, you have to know. So these are the part of documentation. And also cloud native resources, you can actually help contributing through these sharing resources, helping peers, helping people in Slack, Twitter, sharing their post, sharing lesson learned. Like today you have attended this session, you can post have with the kind of, you can screenshot this session and post it that like today I have learned these things. It is also helping open source, right? Because people are learning. Okay, building communities. Okay, so today I am working with like I'm building communities, and this session is under like CNCF Chattogram, and also under Microsoft Linux Ambassador program, and also GitHub Campus Expert program. So these all of these communities I have kind of associated and actually arranging this session. Okay, so building communities, it is also under open source contribution. So there are lots of ways, but basically these two are kind of these two gets most notice. Okay, so yeah, under the cloud native resources, you can see in glossary, right? We are working with it. So why localization matters, as I told you. So it might happen like it was in English. So the scene glossary was in English. So it would have been easier, like, yeah, English. Okay, no issues. But still, there are a lot of people who are not, who can't actually read that English terms, right? So after localizing, that means writing in our own language, it has been made it is easier for them to read that terms, because obviously same terms are obviously tough for them because they are new, and reading it in English might seem tough for them. So we want to make it available for everyone. That's why we are localizing. That is why localization matters. Okay, whether localizing the glossary or Kubernetes docs, your work will have a real impact. Also, if you want to contribute for the Kubernetes localization, I'm also the maintainer of that project. So we have a session next month related to the Kubernetes documentation. Can mention about it, no issues. Okay, now this localization team contributor ladder. So how this works? Non-member contributor, you are not a member of non-member contributor. You are not member of the team. Okay, team member can contribute. Reviewer can also. There are different portions actually. There are non-member contributor who contributes but not part of the team, who is part of the team, also the reviewer and approver. These are kind of, I am the reviewer and approver, but I'm not the sub project owner or something. And this is a kind of Catherine and so on, the English owners. Okay. Okay, now how to get started? How to get started, this is the important part. So anyone kind of want to contribute to this localization can easily go to kind of their website, and under the website you can actually find all of the files. But what I would mention is join the CNCF Slack channel and search for this glossary localization. Let me share here. Okay, you can see the CNCF glossary, like it is the Cloud Native Computing Foundation Slack channel, and under this you can see this is the CNCF, sorry, the glossary localization channel. Okay, so all of the things are here, and these are the maintainers actually. Basically, these Catherine, they were the actually initial founders. So these are the things, and for the Bengali or Bangla, we have another channel. Okay, so who wants to contribute? Whoever. Right now, there are a lot of people who are from actually Kolkata. They are contributing. Okay, so let me pause a bit. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for being so long in the session. Okay, so here, if you want to contribute to the glossary localization, you can come here. And also for if you want to contribute to Bengali, you can come here. But what happens basically, this is start, because start, that means I have started these channels actually. So generally what you have to do, you have to actually browse from here, okay, more and or something. Generally, I think on channels. Okay, okay. So you have to come here and you have to search like, yeah, glossary localization Hindi or something. If you are working or another language, you have to find if your own language has been if anyone of your own folks or people have actually started this localization. If not, you can actually mention like, I want to work with this kind of this language. So is there any team or not? If there is available, so you have to join the team and you have to mention them. Yeah, I want to work with it. How to progress? Okay, so this is how actually this thing works. Okay, you can see he mentioned, hey, you want me to bring you? Yeah, then we had a meeting. So something like that. I mentioned about him. We had localize 24 and so on. You can see there are lots of chat, right? So this is how this localization is done. Also, if you want to contribute to Kubernetes, we will also have another session on the next month. So I will share about those in the session. Okay, so this is done. So this is how you contribute. So you can see, join the glossary localization and read the contributory style guide, etc., etc., and glossary localization and the language. That means for Bangla, we had glossary localization, and then this language term is Bengali. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, so you can join the channel and you can mention, hey, I'm new, I want to contribute, how to progress. Okay, you can see 27 here. Okay, so this is how it is done. And actually how we work or something, generally for the general people or something, but generally you have to do is go and look for issues actually, and they also find the channel. You can see there are lots of localization and channels. Something you have to go to the issue and then actually go to the channel and mention like, I this is the issue I want to work on and so on. So and yeah, I will mention about this in the team blocks. Okay. Wait, wait. Okay, I'm going to just show you how you want to, if you are not a Bangla contributor, I'm going to show how you have to actually look for opportunities, just come here for the issue and just see what is happening, like update term, this kind of thing. These are done in, you can see also there are some labels. It means this is in the English language. This means Spanish, okay, Hindi, and Italian or something. So these are open. These issues means this is a problem. This has been working on, and they want you or someone of you to work with it. If you go to this local something like that, assigned. So it has been, he created this one and it has been assigned to this person. So he's working with that. Okay. So, or he automatically assigned it to himself and he's working with it. So GitHub, if you are familiar with GitHub, this is a culture actually, like kind of how we actually maintainers and contributors communicate is the issues. In the issue, you can also create issue. There's no problem. You can also create issue. If you don't need to be a maintainer. So when a maintainer comes, he will check this issue. Okay, you can mention this. I want to add this file. The maintainer will check. Okay, maintainer will check. Okay, you can progress, or he or she will say, okay, no, don't progress with it. He will delete it because you can see there are lots of issues. These are open and these are closed. That means whether they have been approved or they have been completed and then closed. Okay, these two can done be these two can be done. So this is how it is done. So for the Bangla, let me begin. Okay, so you can see there are lots of issues basically. So sorry, these are the pull requests actually, but let me, if we can find the tracking issue or something. Yeah, you can, these are kind of they are not issues. You can see this kind, if you see the branching kind of thing, these are this means issue dot, this doesn't mean issue, this means kind of pull requests. Okay, these are pull requests. So just as I search for bn, all of those are here. Okay, so here we have issue, this is tracking issue. So generally, what I know is Bangla team and Bengali team and Hindi team has their own this tracking issue. So what happens? Anyone want to contribute, they have to come here and mention. You can see Abhijit has come here and he say, I want to work on this content be and service.md. He mentioned. Okay, so you've been assigned, self-filling it, he has been assigned. So also for the service, although I haven't actually assigned him here, but I have assigned in the upper, in the file, because I haven't mentioned the message because we had a chat in the Slack channel. So as he is continuing the, he has a good connection with me and he has daily conversation with me. So he doesn't need to kind of, yeah, he didn't wait for the permission of like, yeah, you've been approved, because he didn't have any contact with me here at that time. So I mentioned it and we had a chat and he now mentions me when he creates a PR. Okay, so what happens is this, when he has been actually assigned, he work with that file, and as a maintainer, what I do is I do keep it in mind that Abhijit is working with this file. So anyone, if any other person want to work with it, I will not actually merge or something the another person's work, because this person has told me first. So this is the priority. Okay, so this is the good part of issues. When you create an issue and someone is assigned, someone told me that, someone tell that, yeah, I want to work, or he or she has been assigned. So the maintainer what actually give the most priority to the person that has been assigned. Then that person, if that person doesn't work for a while, then he will be removed from the assign and something like that. So what we do, you can see for the cell filling, he mentioned, and what I did, I came here and under the cell filling, I think I have mentioned, uh, okay, self-filling, right? Yeah, you can see I have added at the rate Abhijit and his GitHub ID actually. Yeah, okay. Now also after merging, I have added this one so that I can easily track like which has have been done and what are the actually pull requests or something like that. So that easily, if there is any problem, I can track them down. Okay. Okay, so this is how things work for any localization, at least for Bangla and Hindi. You have to come to the tracking issue, you have to come here and you have to mention I want to work with it, or you have another option, you go to the Slack channel and you mention that how to get started, and we can give you the tracking issue. You can comment it here that I want to work with it. And if you want to work with kind of service discovery, you can see no one has been assigned, so you can tell me I want to work with it. Okay, then how you get started with it, that is the thing, like what to do. this is what mentioned here. I've created total docs. I am not going to talk about it. It has been like almost 2 hours. I know you guys might be feeling kind of boring, something, but I, as a person, kind of, I'm almost in the third year, so I felt that Git is something most of the people still don't know, even if they are in the fourth year, because if they don't work in open source or something, but because they lack this kind of expertise. Because if they know about Git, they attend a session, they forget this Git basics. Because why? They don't practice it. So in this session, I showed you what is the basic of Git. I also showed you what happens in for the branching and another ones, and also I have showed you like um, how the big projects work with the Git things. Okay, you saw like the branching things or something. And here, this docs has all of the things. I've created 40 minutes video and so on and so forth. So what you can see, take your time. It is in the Bangla language and also in English language as well, just to show you how to work with, how to contribute, and how to create a PR. A total, you can see your PR A to Z, something like that, how to write in Bengali or something. I've created this documentation for our Bangla language. Also, what happens every month, you can see the first Friday of each month, I'm going to kind of, you can meet up with me. Okay, so this is the meetup link. We under the CNCF actually Chattogram, what we do basically, we will sit down and talk about like if you go CNCF Chattogram, and as I'm the organizer of CNCF Chattogram also, so if you search it, you can see, you can just log in and join this one, Chattogram. Okay, so you can see every month we have this already been scheduled, February 24, sorry, February 3rd. I think this has been an issue, right? Oh, okay, okay, sorry. This is not the issue because this is the Kubernetes localization event. So this is not the thing. Yeah, this is the one, meetup. Okay, you can see the meetup, March 3, February 3, April 7th. So every actually first Friday of each month meetup. And also what I mentioned about the Kubernetes localization, I'm going to show in the 24th. Also, you are going to get some goodies from GitHub if you join this that session. Okay, so this is I think that was actually totally it. The total session, almost we went through a lot. If you need any links, I can actually share all of the links right now in the chat. If you have any question, kindly mention right now. That will be actually it for the session. Wait, till then, I'm going to share the actually links and you can ask your questions right now.